Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Just got that little notification on my phone just now, Drew. You just sent it, didn't you? 10:06 a.m. to the KMOX Sports Twitter page that we are live. Let me repost that real quick, and I liked it as well. I was the first like on the account at 24 seconds ago. You posted it. Nice job. That is our stream. That is all over the place on social media. People like to tune into the show that way, and we appreciate that. I do sometimes too. I like to go back and like, what did he say in that interview? And it's just easy for me to go to scroll back and forth. You can do that. Odyssey app, KMOX.com. We are in podcast form. You should subscribe to this show. It will just show up on your phone or your device. You can listen to it whenever you want. And it pretty much stands all week long. Or using this newspaper. Now that sports are moving a little faster, though, the Cardinals playing every day now. And the City is playing 2 more days. They played yesterday. They're going to play on Tuesday in Houston. So things are moving a little bit quicker now around here. We had a busy day yesterday here at Odyssey St. Louis. We had the Cardinals on KMOX at 12:05. We had the Billikens down the hall on KFTK. That's 97.1 FM. We moved them to their 2 o'clock start over there because the Cardinals were playing. And then, oh, by the way, we have City. Y98 carries City, so they're just across the hall from 97.1, and we were carrying the soccer game over there against Real Salt Lake. Not to mention the Mizzou Tigers are playing, and the Valley is playing, the Blues are playing, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. I love this time of year for sure. Let's get right to it and start with the Cardinals. I think that's appropriate. It was the first day of spring training in the Great League schedule for our guys. Let's take a listen.
Hi, I'm Nolan Arenado. Time now for a look at yesterday's game with 9 and 6.
Coming around third base, Nolan Gorman. He's going to try to score. Dan Cruz looks to throw the slide. Safe at the plate. RBI hit for Nolan Arenado. A good turn at third base by Dylan Carlson. Will did come on around the score for a Cardinal run. Pretty active protect mode. It's a high fly ball. That's to right center field. That has a chance. The ball goes off the wall. He has an open stance. Batting club to lead at second base for Koperniak after his 3-hit day. A swing and a miss, and Rivas strikes out, ending the ball game. Cardinals left the tying run at second base, and Miami outlasted the Cardinals a final of 9-8.
9-8.
Follow the Cardinals all season long on 88.7 FM, 11:20 a.m. and streaming.
9-8. Man, that's tough. I had to get that one. That was great. The Cardinals did get one in Port St. Lucie, though. They won 10-5. So take that, Daniel Descalso. Oh, Ali Marble knows how to manage. No, again, 10-5. The Cardinals beat the Mets in Port St. Lucie. In that one, and the one you was the 9-8 loss to the Marlins, they started Zach Thompson. In the Marlins game, they started Matthew Liberatore. And today, they will start Drew Rom. Tuesday's start was supposed to be, or tomorrow's start was supposed to be Takoa Roby. Roby has been scratched due to some back tightness, and therefore they are going to make a little move there. I will tell you about that. But let's get to the games first that happened yesterday. You heard some of the highlights there. Arenado with the RBI double. Arenado with an RBI single. Arenado is in regular season form at the plate and presumably in field. He looked great. Had a very good day, although he did get picked off, I should note. But he did have a very good day. 2 at-bats, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, day over. The Cardinals did have some struggles with the Marlins offense late. But again, pitchers are working on things. We understand that. Matthew Liberatore made the start. He did record a strikeout in the first inning. But in the end, it went to the Marlins 9-8 with the final in that game. A lot of regulars in that lineup. That was fun to watch yesterday. See the guys out there again. And then in Port St. Lucie, after Liberatore in Jupiter gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, and in his 2 innings of work, walked 1 and struck out 2, Zach Thompson did what I think everyone expects him to do this spring. Have a very good spring. He's the best of the rest of them. Out of that rotation, you have Sonny Gray, Miles Michaelis, Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn, Steven Matz. Knocking on the door is Zach Thompson, and I will say it again. He is not going to go quietly. He is going to make sure that they notice him, that they see him, that they know he's ready, and who knows? The Cardinals might go with a six-man rotation just to save arms and to watch the days. They might go with Thompson. They might put him on the roster. I don't see him coming out of the bullpen. I really don't, Drew. I think Zach Thompson is going to be a starting pitcher, whether it's in Memphis or in St. Louis, but he wants this to be St. Louis. He's 1-0 in the Grapefruit League, picked up a win, 2 innings of work. He allowed a hit, and he walked one. That's it. He struck out one. He allowed no runs in his 2 innings of work. Remember Thompson last spring training had an ERA of 0 throughout. And then they moved him from the bullpen to a starter. They put him in Memphis. He's just working on all these new pitches and trying to stretch out, and it was too much. And he came back to St. Louis with a little more footing and a little more experience through the year. And he had a terrific second half of the year. He's one of the best strikeout pitchers in the National League. Now he is a starting pitcher. He has worked on a changeup to add to his repertoire. He's tried to put a little zip on his curveball, and that looks even better. He's got a good fastball, always has. He throws 25 pitches yesterday. That's pretty standard. Let's see, 25, 30, 35 maybe at most at the start of this thing. 14 of those were strikes. He will continue to work on that. Kloffenstein came in, gave up 2 runs on 3 hits in his 2 innings. But the Cardinals' bullpen of O'Brien and Palante each pitched a scoreless frame. Nick Robertson gave up a couple of runs, but it bears watching this pitching situation with Zach Thompson. Cardinals got some runs on the board, too. Newt Barr had a nice day. He drove in a run. He was 2 for 2 yesterday. Thomas Sajasi. He's going to start today at second base. He came in yesterday as a pinch hitter, then finished at second base for Brendan Donovan. All he did was drive in a couple of runs, 1 for 3 with a hit. Good start for Sajasi. Donovan had 2 runs scored in that ball game. The Cardinals won that game 10-5 in Port St. Lucie. What a terrific scene this will be throughout in Jupiter. You continue to get fans down there. It's the first full spring training that the Cardinals had in a while. So, yes, I've said on this show that let's give Ollie Marmol a full spring training. Let's give the players a full spring training. How about the fans? Fans full spring. When's the last time the fans had a complete start to finish spring training? Since 2019. That's the last time. 2020, COVID canceled. 2021, there was so much restriction, you couldn't really do anything down there. 22, lockout. So half the season is gone. Half the spring training is gone, and they scrambled towards the end. 23, World Baseball Classic. So you go to Jupiter and nobody's there. And I should take that back. Contreras was there, some other players were there, but the big stars are playing in the World Baseball Classic. This is finally what you want. You've got the stars, you've got the team. It's not too late, by the way. I mean, I'd catch a flight if you can get a reasonable flight and a reasonable place to stay somewhere in Palm Beach County, and you have the means to do so. Go get spring training. There are tickets available. It's not sold out. You can get down there. It's only February 25th right now. You got a month. They will break camp in 1 month. You got a month to figure it out. But it's nice to get down there and see the club for sure. I'll be going down there on Wednesday for a quick 4 or 5 days and then back down after Arch Madness. What a great game that was yesterday and scene that was yesterday in downtown West. Kind of an ugly one for City, but they do find a very nice way to come alive and get the goal late. This is how it sounded. 79th minute, after it was 1-0, Real Salt Lake in the 74th. Joey Zanaboni and Dale Shelley with the call on one.
All over the top. Stevie gets back for in the 79th minute. Oh, baby! Working around.
And Joey Zanaboni won the score, and that was how it ended. 1-1. They get the draw. They get a point. But otherwise, tough day to crack this RSL defense. They find a way to get a goal late, and Dinneran's a tremendous player. He had that goal off his left foot with some legs. He rocketed that thing probably about 10, 12 yards out. He hit it like he was 50 yards. I mean, that was a laser. Out of the way. That one goes in. And City ends up tying this one 1-1. Klaus or Dinner, one of the two are going to have to score on a regular basis. You're going to see them trade back and forth goal opportunities because, and they won't, sometimes they'll only play one, depending on what Bradley Carnell, his alignment looks like at any given moment in the game. But they are the strikers for this team. And without Nico Gioacchini, they are going to have a little more pressure on them, I think, to get something done. But I like to play the midfielders. I think Tim Parker's injuries is slightly concerning. Bradley Carnell, after the game, didn't sound overly concerned about it. We'll see how he is today. They said it was muscle soreness, is what Tim told the coaching staff. We'll hopefully see a turnaround for them. But Dale Shilley said it on the broadcast. This is a tired team going into the Houston game on Tuesday, the CONCACAF Champions Cup. So they're going to rely on their depth that Tuesday game. These guys have played an absolute ton here in this last week. A lot of those players played the entire match on Tuesday and Saturday against Houston, the victory, and then the draw 1-1. I also found this interesting off the broadcast. This is halftime. Jen Cease with the CEO of St. Louis City SC, Carolyn Kendall.
Now, first, my very special guest, Carolyn Kendall. Carolyn, welcome in. Owner and CEO of St. Louis City SC, number two.
I know. Hey, thanks for having me. Yes, how exciting is today? First match, MLS match. And you can tell everybody's so excited for the season to start.
Kind of have almost like two first starts in 1 week. First was matches. We got kind of first MLS through run form. Two first in 1 week.
Well, you know what? I think Tuesday was such a great, prequel or, to what's happening tonight. But I mean, we had 19,000 fans here on Tuesday night too.
School night. School night, right?
I had to stay up late for that match.
That's kind of
But I mean, we've had some new restaurant partners,
well, Smino and his crew. Who actually, I went to the press conference this week, which was really cool. So it kind of dawns on me that St. Louis City as a team has been known for highlighting some unknown names in the world of soccer. New York City is highlighting unknown yet musicians from St. Louis. How does that tie together for you? That struck me on Thursday.
well, he's super talented. So I've listened to his music on Spotify. But I did not know that he was a St. Louisan, and so to be able to showcase, talent outside of just sports, but in arts and culinary, it's such a great thing that we can do. And that's one of the things that the ownership has said from the beginning is we just want to continue to make sure that we highlight St. Louis in so many ways. And having a local artist like that to kick off our season was amazing.
Absolutely. So new music, lots of new food, which is always awesome. That is never a bad thing. And then season number 2 with sort of a new team. Anything that stands out to you from last year to this year in just a season short? I mean, it's not been very long.
No, but you know what though? We have great talent. We brought in, Chris Jerkin, Tomas Scotland, Nicholas Tour will be out there. And you know what? They've already assimilated to the team. Preseason was amazing. But I think what you're going to see is that just an incredible product out there on the pitch. Again, coaches, we extended Lutz, we extended Bradley Cornell. And so I'm so excited for how the teams come together the second year. And I think it's going to be an even better product to watch.
Anything in particular, and for St. Louis, looking at the long season that you want to look out? Is that prospects and exciting news, maybe?
I think we kind of had to do all
I'm fishing.
I think we had to do all the extensions in the beginning. I really truly hope that the weather holds up this year, and it's amazing for all of our matches. But I mean, more importantly, we've got a strong CONCACAF run. We're going into the next match with a win in our pocket. I think it's just going to be an epic, so much fun, great time this year. Because the other thing I will say though is people are coming in tonight, and I saw it with the names of their favorite players on the back of their kits. Last year they didn't know who a lot of these players were.
Great point.
So these people are coming in, they're endeared to their favorite player, cheering them from afar, and I'm so excited for this year.
Thank you so much, Carolyn, for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the game. That's Carolyn Kendall, St. Louis City CEO and owner of St. Louis City SC, joining us in the booth.
Thank you very much, MC. So on Y98, anytime you can get the CEO, you do that. Carolyn Kindle, terrific job there by Jen. And an interesting interview. And again, we paint the picture. In Florida, it's great to go see the Cardinals, but right here in St. Louis, we have a world-class stadium. And if you get a chance to see a city match, do it. If you have not been and you've heard how good it is that good. It's actually better than people tell you because you need to see it in person. Great job there. Carolyn Kindle with us. Often on not only Y98 but KMOX, and we look forward to that relationship continuing. The Blues lost 6-1 to the Detroit Red Wings yesterday. Alex DeBrincat had 2 goals and an assist. Red Wings scored 3 times during breakfast. They had 3 goals in the first 6 minutes of the game. This game started at 11 a.m. Patrick Kane extended his point streak to 7 games. He had a goal and assist. It was all Red Wings yesterday. Robbie Fabry, the former Blue, had one as well. Final score 6-1, but Zachary Bolduc had a goal. His second NHL game. He scores his first goal and did it on his 21st birthday. So congratulations to him. The Blues, however, lost a playoff spot in the Western Conference. Nashville was able to leapfrog them. So the Blues will have to wait until their next opportunity, which will be for a little while. They won't play until Tuesday. They'll play at Winnipeg, and they'll go back-to-back at Winnipeg, at Edmonton, Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. Bruce Affleck is going to join us at 10:45 this morning. Now to college basketball. St. Louis University on the air yesterday. The Billikens taking on GW. We had them on 97.1 FM. They were without Sincere Parker. Foot injury for him. That's a concern. Where will they find the offense? Oh, they found plenty of it. Listen to this in the first.
Around the screen. Good help. Stolen away by Medley. It was good help from Van Jimerson, NBA range. Pass! Let's get some Jimerson range.
Gibson Jimerson with the 3 from long distance made it 55-37 in the first half to the second.
Cutting Jimerson, hard to hold. Won't go. Rebound battle. He's got it as a rear left hand. Whistle foul. Down to the basket.
Bradley Ezerino, he is a tremendous player, and the Billikens were off and running. They won this one 96-91, built a big lead in the first half. GW came climbing back into this. In the end, the Billikens pulled them off. They win it 96-91. We'll talk to Travis Ford about it at 10:30. Mizzou lost 88-73 to Arkansas. That is 14 straight losses for Missouri. That is a program record. Illinois, 12th ranked team in the country. They won 95-85 at home against Iowa. Quick break, back with a little bit more, and then Travis Ford at 10:30.
Broadcasting from the Underlying 3 Lawyers. GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
It says here that Gray Bar is a distributor.
Yeah, I support electrical and datacom projects all over the country.
So you can give me the products I need. Where and when I need them?
Thanks to our national logistics network.
Any industry?
Yeah, construction, industrial plants, schools, hospitals.
Could say Gray Bar is much more than a distributor.
Yep, you could say that. When you need a hand powering, connecting, or maintaining your operations, join the thousands of professionals who rely on Gray Bar to help keep them up and running. Yeah, Gray Bar does that.
You all hear what's going on with these energy mandates. I've been told they don't make a lot of sense, and I'm in the business. I agree 100%. Actually, so here's the easiest thing, and the only thing I have on a recommendation. You're going to need a new furnace or a new air conditioner. Just call me for a just common sense approach to your heating and cooling needs for your house. If your system is old or you just want to replace the system, just call me. Parts Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. Usually and the only one. Missouri and Illinois is 314-293-2600. Again, it's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600, or on the internet it's bartinman.com. Bart with B, Inman with an I.com.
Hey, Rob Bradford here. I have set out on a mission with my good friend at FanDuel to prove what I have known for some time. Baseball isn't boring. Now I have a daily podcast to prove it with some of the most notable people in the baseball world screaming baseball isn't boring from the mountaintops, or at least agreeing to come on our show. Players, managers, GMs, and yes, even the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred. It has been a constant wave of baseball. Powerful voices. So join the revolution. Subscribe and soak in Baseball Isn't Boring. Listen on your Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. You'll be glad you did.
I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision didn't age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Fresh air freedom.
Fresh air freedom.
We're bringing you a big truckload of fresh air freedom.
It's been a while.
Clutter and junk have got you cornered.
Every time you turn around, there's more than there was before.
You barely have room to move.
You're so crowded, it's hard to breathe.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Your home is bigger than you think.
You don't need a new home.
You just need us to make the junk disappear from the one you've got.
All you have to do is point.
You're about to have a big home.
A happy home.
Where you can fill your lungs with fresh air freedom.
Now you've got room to fly.
Now you've got the breath to sing.
Now you've got the space to entertain.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
When it's chilly, there's nothing dreamier than coming home, unless your furnace is on the fritz and your home is less than cozy. No worries. Just call the Fix-It-Right guys at Jerry Kelly. They're fast, they're friendly, and they do have it going on. Whether it's a minor mend or a full install, they'll do it quick and do it right. For a consistently cozier home, call Jerry Kelly. 8A to 8P, 7 dreamy days of the week, or at
JerryKelly.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Pelicans win! Pelicans win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Just so much going on in sports. I know we went really long in that first segment. We hardly even scratched the surface. I mean, that was just the local stuff that's happening right here in this area and down in Jupiter, Florida, and in college basketball. But NASCAR also happening. Michael McDowell, his first NASCAR Cup Series pole and his 467th career start. This is his, he started beside the Daytona 500 pole winner Joey Logano on the front row last week. He edged Logano in qualifying for this race, and that is in Atlanta. Atlanta Motor Speedway is the site of today's NASCAR Cup race. NASCAR Cup coming to St. Louis June 2nd at the terrific Worldwide Technology Raceway. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Meanwhile, the Cardinals lineup looks like this, and the Cubs made a move overnight. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. But the Cardinals lineup is not bad from a prospect perspective, but if you're looking for regulars today, the only one you're going to get is Mason Wynn. Wynn is the starting shortstop today, and presumably the starting shortstop for the regular season. I think it definitely bears watching, or in our case, listening on KMOX to see how Wynn performs today. It's only February 25th, and every day counts, and we want to see what he can do offensively. Defensively, he is magnificent, and I think the Cardinals are probably going to start him anyway because of his defense, and they'll let his offense sort of grow under their watch. But if something were to happen to him, what do they do at shortstop? That's a fair question to ask John Mozeliak coming up in 1 hour at 11:30. Wins the starting shortstop. He leads off today. Alec Burleson's at right field batting second. Lucan Baker at first base batting third. Alfonso Rivas is the left fielder batting fourth. Thomas DeJacy, definitely worth watching. Second baseman bats fifth. Jared Young at DH 6, Buddy Kennedy at third base 7th, Pedro Pajes behind the plate 8th, Victor Scott II is the center fielder today. He bats 9th. I slow his name down for you so you understand that we are talking about Victor Scott. Victor Scott is a very talented player and eventually is going to play in the outfield for the St. Louis Cardinals. How soon is a good question to ask. He has made a rapid ascent from speedster to overall player in just a year, but he's got to prove that he can hit big league pitching to take that next step. It'll be there watching. And then Drew Rom is the starting pitcher today for the Cardinals, another one of those who will be a backup and be ready to go in case something were to happen in this rotation. The starter tomorrow was supposed to be Takeo Roby, but Roby, the young right-handed prospect, has been scratched to start due to back tightness. So Sen Robertson is going to start that game instead tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, you're going to get Sonny Gray. He makes his first Grapefruit League start as a St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals host the Boston Red Sox at 12:05 on Tuesday. Let's take a break. Oh, by the way, the Cubs. Yes. Cody Bellinger is back with the Cubs. 3 years, $80 million. Bellinger will get paid $30 million in each of the first 2 years and has an opt-out in each of the first 2 years, according to Ken Rosenthal, Jeff Passan, and other national writers who broke that story in the middle of the night. So Bellinger back to the Cubs, a big bat. They add, he was great for them. It makes the NL Central that much tougher now. Cards, Cubs, Reds, I think, are the three that'll battle it out with the Brewers trying to play spoiler. We'll come back. Travis Ford, head coach of the Billikens on KMOX.
Hey, folks, this is Charlie Brennan. For more than 25 years, I've learned there are a lot of reasons to appreciate the doctor's doctors. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Prasadi, and Andrew Royer at Ophthalmology Associates. You know, they treat more doctors than any other practice in St. Louis. They're also available for emergency calls. In fact, I might point out that I had a serious eye problem earlier this year while traveling in Arizona. I got a treatment plan and a prescription over the phone at 314-966-5000. One more benefit of Ophthalmology Associates. Also, the doctor's doctors are pleased to welcome Dr. Samuel Berry to their practice. Dr. Berry is a cornea surgeon with the latest knowledge and techniques for advanced eye care and treatment. So now, Birdie, Malhotra, Brasati, Royer, and Berry, the best doctors to see for your best vision in St. Louis. 314-966-5000 and youridoc.com.
What keeps you up at night? If it's a new diagnosis or an aging parent or just being home alone, our St. Louis-based ACM Care can help. Their RNs will listen to you, advocate for you, and get you through this. ACM Care is a nonprofit based right here in St. Louis. They've been helping St. Louis for over 24 years, and they want to help you too. The first call is free. You can reach them at 314-293-0697 or acmcare.org or Google them. ACM Care will get you care.
If you're facing $10,000, $20,000, or even $30,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt, there are programs available that can consolidate those debts into one single reduced monthly payment you can afford if you qualify. Accredited Debt Relief is on a mission to help you become debt-free in just 24 to 48 months. We've helped over 300,000 qualified consumers, hardworking Americans just like you, pay off more than $1 billion in debt, earning them an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. Accredited Debt Relief will tailor the program to your specific budget and financial situation. So call Accredited Debt Relief now for your free no-obligation savings estimate and let them help you take control of your financial destiny.
Call 800-663-1313. 800-663-1313. That's 800-663-1313. 800-663-1313. Program and services not available in all states.
Royal Banks of Missouri is your community bank with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks brings in experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender. Looking for a new home or to refinance your current mortgage? Royal Bank of Missouri wants to be your home buying partner. With a local staff that will guide you through the process, Royal Banks is an experienced mortgage lender that you can trust. There's still time to lock in on a low rate. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC and equal opportunity lender.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldsmith swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Our visit with Travis Ford, sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri. Good morning, Coach. How are you doing?
Good morning, Tom. Doing good, thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. 96-91 win over GW. You came out absolutely firing and doing without Sincere Parker. I'd be willing to bet that you started the day not knowing that you'd get 96 points with Parker out with the foot in.
You would be exactly right. We were a little concerned going against a George Washington team that was averaging about 76 points a game. They're kind of like they score, but they couldn't win great defensively. But without Sincere Parker, we were wondering, could we score enough points to be able to get a victory? And guys came out really played really smart offensively as far as taking what the defense gave us in the first half, getting guys the ball in the right spots. Obviously, we made some shots, and went out and had to outscore a team because we couldn't get them to miss either. But it was an exciting game, and glad that we were able to get a victory.
Yeah, you did. You got a victory, and in a 96-91 win, you get 19 points out of Gibson Jimerson, 5 of 18 from the floor, but he's perfect from the line, and he hit a big NBA three towards the end of the first half that lit the crowd up. Terrence Hargrove Jr., leading rebounder with 8. Medley had 7 assists and just 2 turnovers, and as a team, you shot the lights out, 13 of 26. Now, they also knocked down 11 threes, but you'll take that all day. 13 of 26 from beyond the arc. If you can get that going, you'll be tough to stop because you have to pick your poison then if you're trying to shoot. Well, that's probably what you envisioned from the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. But, yeah, if you like offense, yesterday was your game. I mean, it was a lot of offense yesterday. But, no, you're exactly right, Tom. This is kind of what we envisioned to start the season with a lot more pressing. Obviously, we've got 2 starters out in Sincere Parker, Mike Meadows, who obviously missed a lot of games this year, which shortens our bench a little bit at the guard spot. So we're not nearly pressing as much as we would like to and probably need to try to camouflage some of our weaknesses defensively. But the offense, as far as scoring points, is kind of what we envisioned. We thought we had a good 3-point shooting team and guys that can make some shots. And then with Sincere Parker in there, you got to create a lot of points as well. But yesterday, again, like I said, I thought we just played really smart. Guys got, we had a big spark off the bench from, Jolie, who came in, scored 9 points in the first half. A big spark. I thought our 2 backup centers played well for us yesterday. Everybody did their job.
They did. And, I look at your point totals over the last several games. I'll take the Duquesne game out just because it doesn't fit what I'm about to say for your point total. Although, they got off to an amazing start in that game. They really did. I mean, I was listening to that on the radio. I'm like, oh, boy, this is going to be a long day. And then you actually started to climb back into it. You ended up losing at 81-66. But the other games, since you started and you got Parker back, I know that's part of it, but 102 against LaSalle, 86 against St. Joseph's, 85 against VCU here at Chaffetz, 96 against George Washington. It does bode well. I mean, I know that defense wins games, but that you probably feel like, and I don't want to take anything away from anybody left on your schedule, Richmond is next, but that you can hang around in a game as long as you are putting up point totals. That is something that it plays in your favor.
Yeah, it's in basketball. It's the hardest thing to do is to score. I mean, to count on it. We all know shots can come and go anytime, and some nights shots are you're going to make more than others. but obviously we've shown here lately we can score a few points. But for us to get where we need to be, you got to defend. You got to be able to we got to be better at what we should be able to depend on every single night, that you can count on, the controllables of rebounding, and hope, you would wish defense would be better, rather than just having to go out and just outscore people. It's not necessarily an easy thing to do, but here lately we've been playing better basketball, except for the Duquesne game. And it's equals to a few wins, a few losses, but we've played better. And a lot of that better is basically from the offensive end. It hasn't necessarily been from the defensive end. It's been from the offensive end. And it does give us a chance, but it's a hard way to live because, as we all know, shots can come and go.
Yeah, that's true. How is Parker? Is the foot injury a major concern? Can you get him back for the Richmond game?
Well, it's a concern based on he missed 2.5 months with a foot injury. We hope this is not something that keeps him out a long time. We hope it's not something that if he does come back that it's, he doesn't re-injure it. All things, things like that. When you start talking about something that, he's had issues with before. So I've got some real concern as far as I just want him to be healthy. I just want, whether it's now, whether it's later, you don't want to do anything to try to jeopardize because I think he's got a great career ahead of him. But, it is literally, as we say, day to day, but we just want to make sure he's healthy, 100% healthy.
You have those two names that I think we focused on at the start of the year, the sons of two great players from this area, Kelly Thames and Larry Hughes. We're talking about Kellen Thames and Larry Hughes II. How have they developed, Travis? And in particular, I know we've seen a lot of Larry, but Kellen seems like a really, not that Larry doesn't, but Kellen has this upside that is very fascinating to me.
Oh, you're 100% correct. We're obviously very high on both of them, and the word development is a perfect word because I think that's what they've done through the whole year. Larry, I think, playing his best basketball of the season right now on both ends of the court. We really thought preseason for the year that he could be our best defender, a guy that, all right, we'll put Larry on this guy, he'll stop him. And he's really doing a good job of that now and getting some really good steals and, making shots now and really, giving us a scoring threat. We've had to have him play some point guard position, which is not his natural position, but he's done a really good job of it because of our Mike Meadows injuries and things like that. But he's more comfortable off the ball, and that's where we're trying to keep him as much as possible. He made some big shots yesterday. I'll tell you, he took one tough shot, and I'm like, oh, wow, why did he take that? And then 2 seconds later, he steals the ball and gets an and one. I said, well, that's, we'll take that. But that's what he's doing for us now. He's becoming a difference maker, a guy that's making game-changing plays for us. And that's part of all the development from beginning of the year where maybe that wasn't the case. Now he's a guy we need in the game. Kellen Thames, if I could play him 40 minutes, I'd play him 40 minutes a game. He's that important to our team. He does so much for our basketball team, defensively, offensively, rebounding. Probably the best athlete on our team, without question. Can really defend. Probably one of our better one-on-one players as far as getting by people. He can make a three. Probably plays with the most energy and athleticism of anybody on our team, and that's why we all love him as staff. We're just always saying we got to keep Kellen in there. We need Kellen in there, but we're really, really high on Kellen.
Travis, one last thing. This is Travis Ford, the head coach of the Billikens, and Coach, I always appreciate this. Just how do you? I listen to you. You've got this positive attitude. I know it's hard. I mean, losing games and having this kind of a season, but you sound very upbeat. I know you're coming off a win, but how do you let our listeners know again just your overall view of your program and how you move it forward in times like these when you know that it has been tough, but there is still a bit of a window ahead of you to do something?
Yeah, no question. It's we stay very, very positive, very confident because, for me, I've been doing this forever, my whole life. I mean, it's all I've done, and we've had great successes. And, as a player, as a coach, and we know what we're doing. But everybody in life has a bad year, and this is the one bad year. No matter what you're in, and this has been a very tough, difficult year, and no question about it. There's a lot of things I wish I'd done better, and you always self-evaluate. You do everything you can to make sure you get better, but we're confident about the future and the plan we have in place to get better and to get back to where we want to be at the very, very top of this league and move forward. But yeah, if we didn't believe in what we're doing, then you can sit around and feel sorry for yourself. But shoot, as we tell ourselves, I don't believe people being mad and upset about the year. Shoot, I'm mad and upset about the year and frustrated, but very positive about where we're going because we have confidence that we've done it. And, I've been doing this too long to understand that you don't have to look far around you, that you can have some tough times. So everybody goes through it, every player. I don't know who hasn't necessarily that hadn't had a bad year. We don't like it. We don't accept it, but we try to fix it.
Yeah, I get that. You have a game coming up on Wednesday night at Chaffetz Arena. You'll be taking on Richmond. We'll have that game on KMOX, of course, and we always appreciate these visits, Coach. Thanks for joining us on Sports on a Sunday Morning.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Tom.
Visit with Travis Ford, sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri. Bruce Affleck. Can't wait to catch up with my friend, the St. Louis Blues, next on KMOX.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
As an educator, Mr. Nelson's teachings are still being quoted in schools.
Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world.
Mr. Nelson taught hope.
Everyone can rise above their circumstances if they are dedicated and passionate.
And giving our best efforts.
It's always impossible until it's done.
Mr. Nelson Mandela's teachings not only united a nation, they inspire us today. Inspiration. Pass it on from passiton.com.
At Consumer Cellular, you get the same exact coverage as the largest carriers, but for up to half the cost. Same thing, up to half the cost. Up to half the cost for the same thing. 50% the money for 100% the same thing. I hope I'm making myself clear. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Half the cost savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single-line 5GB data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single-line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
As an educator, Mr. Nelson's teachings are still being quoted in schools.
Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world.
Mr. Nelson taught hope.
Everyone can rise above their circumstances if they are dedicated and passionate.
And giving our best efforts.
It's always impossible until it's done.
Mr. Nelson Mandela's teachings not only united a nation, they inspire us today. Inspiration. Pass it on from passiton.com.
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues. And now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Story Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Story Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm. Call today at 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Good to visit with Travis Ford, Lutz Fan and Steel, John Mozeliak, Mark Schreiber on the way in the 11 o'clock hour, as well as John Rooney and Ricky Horton with a report from Jupiter, Florida. Cardinal baseball coming your way in 1 hour with pregame from West Palm Beach, Florida. Right now, we're talking some hockey, and Bruce Affleck is joining us on KMOX, as he has for so many years. It's great to have him back on the show. Bruce, with us on KMOX. How are you, buddy?
Tom, I'm doing great. Thank you. And what a pleasure to come on after Travis Ford. I actually remember him playing basketball. I'm a pretty big college basketball fan, but the one thing I didn't realize is he played at Missouri first before he transferred.
He did freshman year, and then he transferred back to his home state of Kentucky and was a very good player for Rick Pitino. And that hurt me. I was a Mizzou fan back then, and I told him that too. I said, "You hurt me," but I understood. I understood why he did it. No, it's good to visit with you as well. I know the Blues took one on the chin yesterday, but it is a long season. We're really having you on to talk about an event that will be highly competitive, I think. If Brett Hull is coaching, it's not only going to be fun, but he's going to have them riled up. This is the Blues alumni against the NHL alumni and celebrities. It is the Puck Cancer, I love that name, Puck Cancer charity game on Friday night, April 5th at Centene Community Ice Center, Bruce.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. And I'm sure your listeners have heard about Kelly Chase and the battle he's gone through with acute leukemia. The good news is he is in remission, which is fantastic. And this came about, we're hosting the NHL alumni presidents meetings. And we kind of put this similar game on back in 2020 when the Blues had the All-Star game here. And so Kelly, in his wisdom, of course, said, let's raise some money for Siteman Cancer through the Jimmy V Foundation. And that's what we're doing. That's what it's all about, to raise money. The game's not about Kelly, but it's because of Kelly. And we're looking forward to it. And you mentioned Brett Hull. Yes, he'll be behind one bench. Sean Payton, the Denver Broncos head coach, will be behind the other bench. And there'll be some others added too, I'm sure. And we're looking forward to it.
Wow. How about that? Sean Payton, the head coach of the other team. I also noticed that Belfour is on that team as well as Chelio. So I know who I'm rooting for. Hull, Carbonneau, Paul Cavallini, Barrett Jackman, Cam Jansen, Jamal Mayers, Andy McDonald, and Brendan Morrow. That's a nice lineup of Blues alumni.
Yeah, and there'll be more coming too. But it obviously got some talent there and some number of years that have played with the Blues. And then you look at the other side, you mentioned Belfort and Chelios and Adam Graves, some celebrities. Dirks Bentley's going to put the skates on. We should get you out there too, Tom.
Yeah, heck, I'll get out there. DB Sweeney is an actor. Dave Coulier, that's from Full House, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Ryan Whitney and Adam Graves. Again, there'll be more coming. And as a matter of fact, I'm waiting to hear from Pierre Turgeon, who's in tremendous shape still. And so we're looking forward to this and raising a lot of money for Siteman Cancer through the Jimmy V Foundation.
So I see tickets go on sale Friday, March 1st at 10 a.m. on Ticketmaster, and you have the option to purchase GA tickets for $50 or VIP tickets for $500. Oh my gosh, that means you get to hang out with Holly, I think.
Yeah, you're going to have food and beverage during the game, and then there's a post-game party right there at Centene Community Ice Center, and there'll be food and beverages there. The players will be going there after, and the celebrities. So you can rub shoulders with whoever you want in that group that will be there. And like I said, we'll be announcing some more as the game gets closer. But it seems like a high ticket price, which it is, but it's all for a great cause with Siteman.
Oh, absolutely. The Jimmy V Foundation for Siteman Cancer Center. The game will consist of 2 halves. There are, as you would expect, fan-friendly activations throughout at Centene Community Ice Center. I see there is a chance to bid on autographed jerseys. So that is at blues.givesmart.com, right, Bruce?
That's exactly right. And most of the jerseys will be of current players. Connor McDavid will be one. Kopitar from L.A., Yossi from Nashville, Barzal from the New York Islanders. And there's more coming. So the players have been fantastic to work with. They know what the cause is, and they want to help. So that'll start April 4th at 10 a.m., go through April 6th at 5 p.m.
I always feel like St. Louis, in so many ways, is a hub for the NHL. Like former players, people, the league, the commissioner, whoever, they just love coming through here. And I think it's because of the alumni. I really do. Bruce, you've done an amazing job. And I'll put Kelly Chase up there as well as a face of this alumni group and what he does to talk about the Blues throughout the country and in Canada.
Without a doubt, Kelly's name should be there, and he's done so much for our alumni and for the Blues. And I think you look at his career and you say, well, what did he do? Well, he was a team guy, and he meant a lot to every teammate he has, and that's why the support of this has just been fantastic. Guys are willing to come in because of Kelly Chase, and so go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say he beat the daylights out of everybody too, including cancer. So cancer is now his cancer's in remission. The cancer picked the wrong guy, huh?
Yeah, he's had a tough week this week because he's doing some extra chemo, which was already planned, and they call it the chemo hangover. And it was tough for him getting around. We had a couple meetings this past week, and you could tell he was in pain, but he fought through it, boy.
He is the best. So are you, man. I appreciate it, Bruce. Thanks for joining us on KMOX today, and we'll support this all the way.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to it.
Bruce Affleck with the St. Louis Blues and their great alumni group. We'll take a break for the news and come back with much more sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX.
Jewels on Hampton and St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler featuring Alvanza's jewel art designs with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks and sports memorabilia and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa, and jewelsonhampton.com. Call them at 314-752-5000, 314-752-5000, and jewelsonhampton.com. Jewels on Hampton.
This is Christina Straight with Straight Realty reminding you, why pay more than 4? In 2003, we had a dream to start a real estate company that would revolutionize the real estate market. Now, 20 years later, after navigating through the many markets' ups and downs, we know exactly how to help you in this challenging time. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Don't give away your hard-earned equity. Give us a call today, 314-441-4444, 314-441-all-4s. And remember, why pay more than 4?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Anywhere Lombardo is proud to present the Parkside Series, our newest series of homes available to build on your lot. These ranch 1.5-story and 2-story homes start from 1,500 square feet to over 2,700 square feet and feature open great rooms, chef-inspired kitchens, and contemporary exterior elevations. Want to tour a new home in person? We invite you to visit the Sunbury, our newest Parkside Series decorated display, located at the streets of Caledonia in O'Fallon. Visit our website at lombardohomes.com to view floor plans and pricing.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Peter King. Why does Nikki Haley stay in the presidential race after losing a primary in her own state? Correspondent Bradley Blackburn says the former South Carolina governor is hoping for a Donald Trump implosion.
Trump leads in the delegate count, and polls show he's the overwhelming pick for primary voters nationwide as he simultaneously faces multiple legal challenges. It's one reason Haley is holding on. Yesterday, she seized on comments Trump made in front of conservative black voters.
We've all seen the mugshot. You know who who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible.
That's the offensiveness that's going to happen every day between now and the general election, which is why I continue to say Donald Trump cannot win a general election.
Negotiations toward a possible ceasefire and Hamas hostage release are moving from Paris to Doha. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu tells CBS's Face the Nation he's somewhat hopeful.
I appreciate the effort, the combined effort of Israel, the United States, to bring back the remaining hostages. I can't tell you if we'll have it, but if Hamas goes down from its delusional claims and goes down, can bring them down to earth, then we'll have the progress that we all want.
Netanyahu says nothing will interfere with Israel's eradication of Hamas, and a ground invasion in Rafah will put Israel weeks away from what he calls total victory. Russian officials have turned over the remains of dissident Alexei Navalny to his mother. They had threatened to bury him at the prison where he died if his family held a public funeral. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan spoke about Russia's President Putin on CNN's State of the Union.
The very idea that he had to lock this guy up, try to muzzle and silence him, and now he's trying to suppress and silence anyone who wants to come out and mourn him, that's a sign of weakness, not a sign of strength.
The war in Ukraine has entered its third year, and at the Vatican, Pope Francis has called for a diplomatic solution. Well, spring training games have started for Major League Baseball in Florida and Arizona, and while umpires rarely want the spotlight, this up is the news.
Jen Powell was the first woman to umpire a Major League Baseball spring training game in 17 years.
This one chopped foul, and that one is called by the third base umpire, Jen Powell. Jen Powell, a female umpire, umpiring a Major League spring training game. Lumber, this is something that hasn't happened since 2007.
That courtesy of the MLB. She manned third base at the Grapefruit League opener between the Houston Astros and Washington Nationals. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
AT&T apologizes for Thursday's network outage and says it'll give wireless customers $5 credits. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11:03, we have sunny skies and 60 degrees downtown at the Gateway Arch. Good morning. I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story this hour, KMOX political analysts Hancock and Kelly have a few thoughts about that Trump win in South Carolina. Republican Hancock says on Total Information AM Sunday, the exit polling in that state should be concerning for Republicans.
A significant chunk of the Haley voters, at least today, say they would not vote for Donald Trump in a November election.
Democrat Michael Kelly says he doesn't think Haley will soon drop out of the race. He gives 3 reasons why she'll keep campaigning.
Number one, for Donald Trump and his criminal foils to finally catch up with them. Number two, for him to be in such a situation where the electorate and maybe even his folks turn on him. Or number three, he has a health issue or dies.
A mariachi band played in honor of Lisa Lopez Galvan during a 90-minute funeral yesterday in Kansas City. She was the radio DJ gunned down after the Super Bowl parade.
And in baptism, Lisa received the sign of Christ. May she now share in Christ's victory over sin and death.
2 men are charged in Galvan's death, and 2 juveniles face gun charges. The intruder shot dead inside the Central West End's Tuscan Masonic Temple early Wednesday has been identified. Police say he's 48-year-old Jannard Howard of St. Louis. He set off security alarms at the building and was gunned down by a caretaker he contacted. The circuit attorney's office is reviewing the case. 2 Central Missouri police officers are recovering from a knife attack.
Saturday evening's incident happened on State Fair Boulevard in Sedalia. The State Highway Patrol says 2 Sedalia officers wrestled with the suspect, trying to get the knife away from him, and were cut. One of the officers fired a shot that struck and killed the man. The injuries to the Sedalia police are described as non-life-threatening. Brad Choate, KMOX News.
The water had to be pretty cold Saturday at Creve Coeur Lake. Dozens jumped in the Maryland Heights Polar Plunge, the 18th edition. It was a fundraiser for the Special Olympics. A plunge participant wearing a button-down Pabst Blue Ribbon Hawaiian shirt spoke to our partners at Fox 2.
I have a daughter that plays many Special Olympic sports, and I love coming out here because she works her butt off all year long for her sports, and I can do this one day a year to help raise money.
It is not going to be frigid today. Temperatures in the mid-70s. The record is 76. We could flirt with that this afternoon. Overnight lows 45. Then tomorrow, 77. Again, maybe a degree off the record. Tuesday is a little bit wild. We could have some severe thunderstorms, damaging winds, hail, an isolated tornado. Temperatures getting up to 80 degrees. But then it's going to plunge back down. Wednesday's high, 40. Right now, it is 61 in St. Peter's, 62 in Florissant, and 60 downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
This is the Graybar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings, and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Now, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
I don't know if you just heard what Scott Jagow said, but he said it's going to be a high of 80 on Tuesday and a high of 40 on Wednesday. The high. So that means we drop even more than that. That means like a 50-degree drop. We're going to get down into the low 30s after being in the low 80s. What the heck is going on around here? It is February, though, and we'll take that 80-degree weather in February, even as weird as it is. We'll take that. That's going to be fun. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Do not judge me. I'm drinking an energy drink after I had a coffee, okay? I was driving a lot over the last couple of days. I called a game in Terre Haute last night, came back around midnight or so. So bounced out of bed this morning, and off we go. And before that, I was in Bloomington. So I actually went to Indiana twice this week, went to Bloomington, Indiana, to see the Indiana women play Iowa. I've got to tell you that women's basketball, women's sports are the future. They are going to be highly, highly competitive. They are going to make money. And Caitlin Clark is just the beginning. They are going to find ways to get eyeballs on these best players in basketball. And Caitlin Clark right now is the face of college basketball. She got really hounded in that game. Indiana won the game 86-69, so they're a legit contender now for a national title. They look every bit like it. But Clark, even with the frustration, what she faced, she still was an assist away from a triple-double. She had 24 points, 9 assists, 10 rebounds in that game. It was sold out at Assembly Hall in Bloomington. It was packed. It was just another example of how women's sports are slowly getting to where they need to be. And it is up to us, and when I say us, I mean men, to give them not only the accolades, but to put them in the proper time slots, to give them the best facilities, to understand the fact that girls all over this country are playing sports, and they're growing up believing that that is normal, that you go play college basketball at a high level and you can go play professionally. When I was growing up, was not the case. Those opportunities were not there for women. They are now, and it is really great what is happening in sports. It makes our sports world better, to have more things to watch, more things to consume as a fan, but for girls growing up to know that they can go on to be millionaire athletes, that they can go on to superstardom, that they can play their sport for as long as they dream to play it. And that is a really great thing. I thought that was one of the best parts of the entire year for me so far, is to have my girls at that game and to watch it through their eyes. That was really neat. As for baseball, the Cardinals, they are going to try to wow you today with a game against the Astros, a Sunday game at the ballpark of the Palm Beaches. The Cardinals will have Mason Wynn starting at shortstop, and this report, this Redbird report, is sponsored by Norm's Bargain Barn, Wilkie Window and Door, and St. Louis Composting, growing gardens and making memories. Let's listen to our broadcasters for the very latest from Jupiter, Florida. Gentlemen, take it away.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney, and yesterday at Jupiter, Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, what a back-and-forth game, with the Cardinals dropping a 9-8 decision to the Miami Marlins. We had some good spots like Matt Koperniak getting 3 hits and 3 RBIs. His double in the ninth inning made it a 1-run game. but the Cardinals couldn't tie it or come back against Miami, and the Marlins won a wild one.
The pitching wasn't really good on either side. It seemed as if a lot of pitchers were having trouble with command. A couple of Cardinal regulars had good days offensively, including Nolan Arenado, a couple of times on base, and Nolan Gorman had a good day.
And Matt Carpenter was on with a hit-by-pitch, and he had a hit.
Yeah, he looked really good at the plate. So a lot of regulars played. The Cardinals actually had a split squad game. They won the other game, but lost the one we saw.
They won the game against the New York Mets at Port St. Lucie, but dropped the game in Jupiter, the one we covered, 9-8 to the Miami Marlins. On the air today against the Astros at West Palm Beach at 11:55 Central Time.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. 10-5 was that win over the Mets. Zach Thompson with 2 scoreless innings. And again, you get Drew Rom as your starting pitcher today. Tekoa Roby has been scratched from tomorrow's start because of back tightness, so they're going to go with Sem Robertsa as their pitcher, another one that they acquired. They've made those trades with the Blue Jays and the Rangers in the offseason to acquire these pitchers for depth. It was like having another little draft with all these prospects coming in. The Cardinals have a lot of pitching depth right now for the future, and you're going to see some of that with Robertsa tomorrow. Meanwhile, Jordan Montgomery, who was traded at the deadline, is still on the market. So is Blake Snell, not to mention Matt Chapman, really good third baseman. DH JD Martinez, last seen on the market. Cody Bellinger is off the market. He is going back to the Cubs, 3-year, $80 million contract. He can opt out of the deal in each of the first 2 seasons, according to national reports. Bellinger set to make $30 million this year, $30 million in 25 if he stays with the Cubs. 20, and why wouldn't he for that money? I mean, unless he thinks he can get another big deal, maybe he will. I don't know. $20 million in 2026 if he doesn't opt out of that contract after year number 1 or 2. Scott Boras, the agent, is Bellinger's agent. So he has 4 free agents that went into spring training without agreement: Snell, Montgomery, Chapman, and Martinez remaining on the market. Bellinger last year, his deal was 1 year, $17.5. And he declined the end of a mutual option of $25 million for 2024. He rejected a qualifying offer of $20.3, and now he gets $30 in year number 1. Pretty nice deal by Scott Boras and Cody Bellinger in waiting this out, as it turns out. But he's a good one. And by the way, he's not just a hitter. He did win a Gold Glove in 2019. So the Cubs getting a good one here in Cody Bellinger. I wonder what this means in the NL Central, if anybody wants to make a corresponding move to that. We'll talk to John Mosaic at 11:30. Little teaser. It's 11:13. Lutz Pfannenstiel is next.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The verdict is in. STL Today is named under law 2023's best St. Louis law firm. Thank you, St. Louis, and we vow to continue our mission to not only deliver exceptional results, but to change the way companies do business and make St. Louis a safer place, one case at a time.
When you're injured, you need the best. Call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
Fresh air freedom.
Fresh air freedom.
We're bringing you a big truckload of fresh air freedom.
It's been a while.
Clutter and junk have got you cornered.
Every time you turn around, there's more than there was before.
You barely have room to move.
You're so crowded, it's hard to breathe.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Your home is bigger than you think.
You don't need a new home.
You just need us to make the junk disappear from the one you've got.
All you have to do is point.
You're about to have a big home.
A happy home.
Where you can fill your lungs with fresh air freedom.
Now you've got room to fly.
Now you've got the breath to sing.
Now you've got the space to entertain.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hi, it's Scott and Andrea from Best Buy Flooring with exciting news.
We've joined forces with Carpet for Less to open in South County. To celebrate our grand opening, buy 1 square foot of in-stock hardwood at the low price of $2.99 and get 1 square foot free.
Plus, all of your favorites, a huge selection of vinyl plank, vinyl tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, carpet tile, and carpet, all at low, low prices.
Come see us at our new South County location at 13520 Tesson Ferry Road between 270 and 141.
Visit us anytime at our Hazelwood, Missouri and O'Fallon, Illinois locations, open 7 days a week. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
Long ball over the top, skipping for Adeniran. Gets past the defender, closes in on the edge of the area. Adeniran back toward the middle. He shoots, he scores! We're tied, baby! Sam Adeniran in the 79th minute makes it 1-1! Oh, baby! Forget a Ratatouille DVD in the microwave! Let's get cooked!
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
I heard a little Dan Kelly in there. He shoots, he scores. I heard some Ken Wilson. Oh, baby. The Ratatouille DVD, that's all Joey there. That's a Zanaboni. Nobody has that one. That was some moment there. Sam Adeniran scoring to make it a 1-1 game, and that's how the match ended. 1-1. St. Louis City SC off and running in the MLS season against Real Salt Lake. We're joined by sporting director Lutz Pfannenstiel, as we always are on these Sunday mornings. Good morning, Lutz. How are you?
Good morning. Not bad. How are you?
I'm doing well. That was fun last night. I know that it was a bit of a slugfest between the two of you, but you were able to emerge with a point. I'm certain that you will take that moving forward.
Yeah, definitely not an easy game. I think Salt Lake played well. They had a good match plan. The first half, I thought we were the better team. We had bigger chances. We had 2 times a header cleared off the line from Klaus, and then once the second half progressed, I think it was pretty much even. Salt Lake really got well into the game, and I think the most important thing was if you go 1-0 down, to show reaction, to come back pretty quick and get that equalizer and walk away with a draw in the first home game of the regular season. It's a result we can live with. It's a result where we can build up.
Yeah, I bet. That is what Sam can do, can he? Boy, that was a rocket off his foot, too. He is really something between him and Klaus, and sometimes the two of them, sometimes just one of them, I would imagine. You will have a threat there at all times. Got to have him.
Yeah, 2 very physical strikers, 2 big guys, who have different qualities, but both equally dangerous. And you saw exactly now that goal somehow describes Sam Adeniran really well. He's strong, he's smart, he knows how to use his body. And once he gets in front of goal, he can be clinical. So I think it was a great goal. It really got the crowd going. It gave us that that momentum. I thought that maybe we still can squeeze one in the last minutes again or seconds again, like against Houston. But as I said, I think watching the way the game went, that the whole setup yesterday, I think we are happy with the 1-1.
I would think so. How is Tim Parker? I think that's the million-dollar question here. Listening to Bradley Carnell, he didn't seem overly concerned in the post-game press conference. How are things this morning?
No, I just actually spoke with Tim or bumped into him at breakfast like 10 minutes ago, and he seems to be okay. I mean, I don't want to promise anything what's going to happen on Tuesday, but it's definitely no serious injury. It was more a muscular issue, and the doctors need to assess that today and tomorrow, and then we have to take decisions.
That's great to hear. I know what's going to happen on Tuesday is your depth is going to have to play, I think. It seems like you'll have some tired legs. Now, I know that this is big boy soccer. I mean, this is Major League Soccer. You've got to be conditioned for these types of challenges, but some of these players have played a lot, haven't they, over the last week?
Yeah, but Houston also played, I mean, Houston played yesterday against Sporting KC, so I think that's the worst excuse we can take and say we have tired legs, because Houston will be just as tired as we are. The good thing was that we started yesterday 5 different players than we started on Tuesday, so we do have a good way of rotate players around, and I think that was last year our strength. That can be again this year our strength, but definitely it's a physical battle. We will feel it, they will feel it, and when it comes to that, then again it's I think the magic word is mentality and the ultimate will, that you want to win and you want to proceed, and I think that's what it will be. The most important thing, who wants it more on Tuesday evening.
Yeah, your hunger, your fire, your fight, that is what this team is about. And I think the fans reflect that too. How much does that, I mean, I can hear it from Bradley Carnell and the players, how much they adore the fans. What is it like from your perspective viewing this game? Does the atmosphere push this team in late portions of the game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think especially also on Tuesday, it was a great atmosphere. Like some of our new players were like, "Wow, never experienced that before." But I think that was yesterday topped again just before kickoff. I mean, when I'm standing up there, I'm getting goosebumps every time. Now imagine the players who are out there, and must feel it even more. So it is a magic atmosphere. Let's be honest about that. I think you need to look for a long way to find anything similar. I think we really can compete there with the big boys in Europe when it comes to atmosphere. And yeah, it's the 12th man mentality. If things are not going sometimes that well on the field, you have that the 12th man, the crowd in the pocket, and you can release that ace, and then sometimes you squeeze one in, like against Houston. I thought that goal against Houston, the crowd played a big part in that as well. And without our fans, without our crowd, we couldn't do what we do.
It is a very good atmosphere right now, without a doubt. And now you go to Houston. What is in front of you here? I know you've mentioned this matchup a couple of times and how important it is for you. You have a chance to complete this leg against Houston and move forward in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. What do you need to do?
Oh, we need to, easiest way would be to win or to get a draw. Then we don't need to think too much. With the away game rule, if we lose 1-0, we would be out of the competition. If we lose 2-1, it would go into an extra time, and if we lose 3-2, then we will make it. But I don't want to talk about losing. I want to talk about winning. And we showed we played Houston quite a few times so far, and we never got beaten by Houston. We beat them last year at home. We drew there in the league. We beat them now. So it's not that we have to fly to Houston and be scared. We just have to play our game. We have to believe we did it before, and we want to prove ourselves again and again, and that's the mentality. We will go to Houston to try to get the right result to get to the next round.
I also, before I let you go, I got a couple of things left for you. Another player I wanted to mention is Leuven. I just think he played a great game. I don't know what you think, but he has such good vision. The way that he finds Sam, the way that he defends. What a valuable player he is for you.
Yeah, I mean, great assist yesterday again, but, also to be fair to Edu, he just completed his green card process. He missed 10, 11 days in preseason. So I think there's still a long way to go to be back at 100%. Edu knows that. He works hard every day. He works extra. So there's a few days missing when it comes to training loads from the last few days. And he works on that. So, yeah, definitely Edu is already in good shape, but he will be in better shape, give it another few weeks. And we know what Edu is capable of. We saw it last time. For me, he can be one of the best players in the league. And we definitely depend on having a good Edu Lawrence in our squad.
That's definitely a fair evaluation. Last thing, Lutz, is yourself. Being able to have that contract extension, being able to receive that commitment from ownership. A, what does that mean to you? And B, why are you so committed to this St. Louis project, experience, foundation, organization, and movement here that you have worked on for the last few years?
Yeah, it's a bit of a different kind of feeling or connection which you have for a normal club. I worked before coming here when everything was built from ground, being the first employee in the sporting department really changes somehow the feeling you have for each other. It's not just a deep commitment, it's more like a family. And obviously there is always people reaching out, people looking what you're doing from Saudi Arabia, from Europe. There is options to move on, but I said it before, I don't think my job is done yet. I'm here now in 3.5 years, and I still have a lot of things I want to do. I want to improve what I want to do, achieve with the club, and also build a strong foundation. For me now to have a contract till 2026, which makes my 5.5-year plan into a 6.5-year plan, gives us one more year to build. And with the World Cup coming up as well, so lots of I would say cool times approaching now for the football in the United States. And being part of the club is an honor for me. I can't thank enough to the ownership and to Caroline to give me the opportunity. It's a relationship full of trust and full of believing in each other and working together. And yeah, I just wanna pay back what they're doing for me and the opportunities they gave me. And as you said, I'm definitely very committed. I'm happy here, and we just want to be successful together.
Yeah, I do feel that sense of belonging from all of you together, making this thing happen. It's great to have you in our community, and as always, it's great to have you on KMOX in these 11:15 slots. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend.
You too. Lutz Vandensteel, Sporting Director, St. Louis City SC. Always great to have him. John Mozeliak, President of Baseball Operations of the Cardinals, joins us from Palm Beach County next.
You can admit it. You're obsessed with the news, but you don't want to be that person watching TV waiting for the next news story to break. So use your ears instead with the free Odyssey app. With this station available on the free Odyssey app, you can get your local news and discover news stations from around the country. And with hundreds of podcasts also available, you can go deep into the topics you care about. Download the free Odyssey app wherever you get your apps to get the news you crave. Your news fix, your Odyssey.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
What keeps you up at night? If it's a new diagnosis or an aging parent or just being home alone, our St. Louis-based ACM Care can help. Their RNs will listen to you, advocate for you, and get you through this. ACM Care is a nonprofit based right here in St. Louis. They've been helping St. Louisans for over 20 24 years, and they want to help you too. The first call is free. You can reach them at 314-293-0697 or acmcare.org or Google them. ACM Care will get you care.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Tune in to the Home Improvement Show, sponsored by Mosby Building Arts, Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX for expert advice on remodeling, design, and construction. This live Q&A show begins at 11 a.m. or find podcasts at mosbybuildingarts.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Mark Schreiber, the president of the St. Louis Sports Commission, coming our way in about 10 minutes. We have a little time to chat with the president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak, at 11:30 in his normal slot. Always great to talk to you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Down here in Jupiter, enjoying a sunny day and about to go watch a ball game.
Good man. You've got the Astros today at 12:05 Central Time. We'll have that game on KMOX. Our guys are in the booth and ready to go. They'll have the broadcast coming up here at 11:55. Good day yesterday, just to get everybody out on the field. I'm assuming that everybody came out of it healthy, which is the number one thing. You won one, you lost one. What was your overall view of yesterday?
No, I thought yesterday was a good day. Obviously, anytime you can come out of a split doubleheader where you are, I should say split squad, you feel good that no one was injured. And I feel like a lot of guys got to work and they wanted. And, we really did see some good things from our players that you're hoping to see good things from, but also some of our younger players were able to have an impact as well. So that was great.
Yesterday, from a pitching standpoint, I think all eyes on Zach Thompson. Now, the broadcast crews were in Jupiter watching Matthew Liberatore. He gave up a couple of runs. McGreevy got hit a little bit, also a catcher's interference contributed to that. And that game ended up in a 9-8 loss to the Marlins. In the 10-5 win over the Mets, Zach came out with 2 scoreless. A nice start for him. What are your expectations and anticipation when you think of your lefty?
Well, I think right now we just want to make sure guys are getting their work in. If they have some focus on certain pitches, that they're able to try to execute and practice that. You want to make sure in spring training that you don't, beat yourself up too much if you have a tough outing, especially if you're trying to work on some things. But I definitely think Zach should feel pretty good about yesterday's appearance, and hopefully he can build on that.
Yeah, I see that as well. Pitchers working on things, and so are hitters. And getting out there and getting a couple of rips was Nolan Arenado. That had to feel good. Get a couple of RBI knocks for your third baseman. He seems very motivated, as we talked about last week, to get things rolling here.
Yeah. I think he looks back at last year and certainly wants to look at it in the terms of putting it behind him and looking at this as a fresh start. And I think just where he is, physically, mentally, he's in a really good spot. And so, I think that we all believe expectations will be high.
And looking to his left at shortstop, the assumption is that is Mason Wynn's job, that he is going to get that job, but he's going to have to earn it. I know that he's starting today and he's leading off after being hampered a little bit by a bad back. If something were to go wrong, I guess the big question is, what is the backup plan at shortstop right now?
Still working through that. Clearly we want to give him every opportunity to take that job and run with it. And, I think the way he's been playing, in fairness, he's had some lower back stiffness. So camp hasn't gone as smooth as he had hoped. But to his defense, he's also been down here since mid-January working hard with our minor league coaching staff. And, I feel pretty good about where he's at right now.
I'm very interested in Thomas Saggese, and what his prognosis is moving forward. Now, I know that when it looks like health, of course, he looks great. When it looks like all-around ability, I mean, the ceiling is very high, it seems. I'm curious what your look at him is so far down in spring training.
Well, I think anybody that gets to watch him understands he has an offensive presence about him. He's going to hit. So that part's super exciting. I think the big thing for us over the course of the next 12 months is really trying to determine what his best position is and what that looks like.
And then the other one is Victor Scott. You don't want to heap too much on a young man, but boy, he seems like he has a high ceiling as well. He's going to start today and bat ninth. What do you see for Victor? What does he need to do to advance forward here in this spring training?
He just needs to go out and play. I think that the one thing that fans and people that follow baseball don't realize is the amount of reps and the amount of practice that goes into guys that end up having the success they end up having at the major league level. You think about when you go watch a major league game, you're typically, the reason you're enjoying it is the crispness, how clean it's played. Sure, mistakes happen; they're human, but for the most part, it's a game that's played that makes it almost look simple. But yet, the reason it looks so simple is what guys did to get there, and how hard they work and how hard they practice. And so, somebody like Victor Scott, he just needs to keep playing. When you look at him from just a pure tool standpoint, it's sky's the limit. Now it's just go out, understand the game, learn the nuances of the game. And ultimately, he'll find his way to the big leagues.
Yeah, it's like in pitching. Like you always tell me, I want to see some people who can throw strikes because so that, to your point, so fans understand, a minor league pitcher who's trying to break in, maybe a single A guy, can hit his spot maybe a couple times out of 10. I mean, really specific spot. A big league pitcher, somebody in your rotation, they're doing that 9 or 10 times out of 10, aren't they?
They're certainly doing it more than the young man trying to do it in A-ball, but the reality is pinpoint control is hard. So getting something over the plate where you're forcing a hitter to want to swing the bat, that's really what you're trying to do. And I think, we try to simplify it. We try to get pitchers to understand that hitting's hard. But like anything, we always try to make that perfect pitch maybe a little too often.
The Cubs made some news today, John, in that Cody Bellinger has a 3-year reported $80 million deal. My question to you is, when big moves happen in your division, are you reactive? Do the Cardinals make moves corresponding to what people do in your own division? Or are you always working on one channel there, just what the Cardinals need?
We worry about ourselves, and that's what we try to do. We're excited about the team we have, and certainly things will happen in our division, things will happen in our league, things will happen throughout baseball, but we don't do something just to do something.
Today, it's going to be Drew Rahm. You've talked about him as somebody that could back up this rotation if needed. Tekoa Roby, I understand, is going to be scratched from tomorrow, and that gives Robertson a look. Sam Robertson seems like someone else that could fit in your depth plan.
Yeah, TK obviously has some lower back stiffness, so we want to take a look at that. Just want to be precautionary. Don't want to do anything that's crazy. Plenty of baseball left, plenty of time, and fingers crossed that it's not a big delay.
Looking forward to today. We'll have the broadcast here coming up. Thanks for chatting with me as always. I'll see you later this week.
That sounds great. Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you. John Mozeliak, Cardinals president of baseball operations, with us on KMOX. Mark Schreiber, president of the St. Louis Sports Commission, is coming up in 90 seconds. And then we get to Cardinal baseball at 11:55 on KMOX.
Life is challenging and ever-changing, so take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how, learn now. Let Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Go to GiveMeTotalFreedom.com for our special offer. A financial freedom membership for only $297. That's 60% off the regular price. Enter promo code 2024. Learn to retire through real estate investing from the best. Go to GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Learn the path to retiring at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Code 2024.
Missing this?
Goldschmidt swings and he hits the ball left field. That's deep down the line, and it's a goner.
The Cardinals' 2024 season is about to begin.
Hi, it's Matt Pauley. I'm in Jupiter, Florida, covering Cardinals spring training.
Matt's got everything you need to know.
With reports mornings and afternoons and Sports Open Line weeknights from the T.R. Hughes Homes Broadcast Center.
Cardinals spring training coverage, sponsored by St. Louis Composting, Wilkie Window and Door, and Norm's Bargain Bar.
On the home of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Attention contractors, it's Andrea and Scott at Best Buy Flooring. We've joined forces with Carpet for Less to open a location in South County.
Visítenos para todas sus necesidades de pisos, como tablones de vinilo, láminas de vinilo, laminados y una gran selección de carpeta.
Celebrate our grand opening. Buy 1 square foot of in-stock hardwood at $2.99. Get 1 square foot free.
Sí, compre un pie de madera dura en stock y obtenga un pie cuadrado gratis.
Come see us at 13520 Tesson Ferry Road or anytime in Hazelwood, Missouri or O'Fallon, Illinois. Open 7 days a week. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Cardinal baseball coming your way at 11:55, 12:05 first pitch. The Cardinals and the Astros at the ballpark of the Palm Beaches in West Palm Beach, Florida. It's 11:41 right now, and we are joined by the president of the St. Louis Sports Commission. Mark Schreiber is with us. He is also the executive producer of the Musial Award, so he will understand this term, this jargon. We have a hard out of 11:50, Mark. So you understand what that means. You have a hard out of 50 to get to Cardinal baseball. That's what we have in front of us. 9 minutes to chat.
I was already tracking on that because I knew I'm like a little scared that you have me bumped up right to Cardinals baseball. So I'm aware. And I want to say, Tom, I admire the run you are on, having called Valley basketball last night and got to see Caitlin Clark and your Hoosiers a few nights ago. That's great. Good for you.
I appreciate that. It is really something. You know, our plan was to go see the Hoosiers play Nebraska, the men's game on Wednesday. My daughter had a swim banquet that ended up being scheduled. And of course, we're going to that because we love their swim team. And she received an award there. And then I said, well, that's okay because we're going to go see the women take on Iowa on Thursday. And the kids, their eyes lit up. And I got to tell you, the pressure was on for me to get tickets. That's as tough a ticket as I've ever had to pursue, ever.
Oh, yeah.
It was unbelievable.
You did it right. And I just wish we were hosting a women's basketball regional this year because that would be really something. We'd fill up Enterprise Center if we had it this year.
No kidding. And then you mentioned Indiana State. I had them last night. They sold out the Holman Center last night. That place was rocking last night. That team is legit. Arch Madness is coming here March 7th through the 10th. Mark, I think if they win that, they're going to be a real problem in the NCAA tournament.
And it's great to see Indiana State making a little bit of a comeback because it seems the last several years they've not been ultra strong in the tournament. So it's good to see that the Sycamores back.
Yeah, definitely. What is the future of Enterprise Center when it comes to all of the great events that you're bidding on? I mean, I know Enterprise is not the only place, but there's a lot happening, isn't there, in terms of diving into NCAA event bids, et cetera?
Yeah, it's our focal point when we're hosting NCAA championships. And the great thing, we have a really nice lineup ahead because next year we host the NCAA Frozen Four, which was last here in 2007, was a smashing hit then, and will be wonderful back at Enterprise Center next year. And then in 26, we have the men's basketball first, second rounds back at Enterprise Center. And then, of course, the NCAA bid cycle for future years opens up. And that's what we're in the midst of bidding on multiple championships.
I see this list. It is really something that goes all the way through 2028. D2 wrestling, women's gymnastics, women's Frozen Four, D1 men's ice hockey regional, D1 women's basketball regional, men's regional wrestling championships, the D1 women's volleyball championship, Enterprise Center, Centene Community Ice Center, Chaffetz Arena, great venues, the host partners of the Valley, Mizzou, SLU, Lindenwood, and Maryville. You know, I think sometimes people forget what a college town we are. I mean, we have schools all over the place, don't we, Mark?
Yeah, and people also forget that the recent moves to Division I by SIUE and Lindenwood, that really adds to the collegiate flavor here. But obviously there is great passion for St. Louis U and for the University of Missouri and Illinois. So it is a great college sports town. And it's something at the Sports Commission that's like one of our niches is being able to do high profile college sporting events. And, you saw that with the Missouri-Memphis football game we did in September. And, we just want to keep that coming, whether it's Mizzou events, SLU events, or NCAA championships and more.
What is your biggest competition when it comes to those things? Is it still Indianapolis, Nashville, or is there a whole portfolio of cities that are going after these things?
It's so many cities. There's, in the last decade, the number of communities that are aggressively pursuing major sporting events has increased exponentially. And you're right, Indy's at the forefront. Nashville's a big one. But you have markets like Louisville and Oklahoma City. Minneapolis has come in really strong. And then, the big one that we used to never have to compete with, but is now sort of the gorilla, it's Las Vegas. So, and I could rattle off dozens of other cities too, but that's the industry we're in, where there's great competition, and we do our best to try to stand out from the mix. And fortunately, going back to Enterprise Center, we have a wonderful venue there. Same with Chaifetz Arena. And this community always steps up and puts on a great show when we're hosting big events.
This is Mark Schreiber, the president of the St. Louis Sports Commission, 4 minutes away from turning things over to Cardinal baseball. So I got a couple other things for you, and that is just St. Louis as a sports town. I mean, what do we need to do? I went to Nashville a couple weeks ago. In fact, I went there back-to-back weeks, and I like Nashville. I mean, Nashville is not an overwhelmingly large city. It's a nice-sized city. It's got that hot night district. Actually, they even have live music during the day, but there's a lot going on there. But otherwise, it's a nicely laid-out city. It's got that consolidated government. There's a newness to it. I feel like, Mark, that St. Louis is older. It has some scars, but it has all the pieces in place. What do we need to do to get it all moving at once and get us back to being a Nashville?
So I think there's two main things there. One is the destination, and specifically downtown. And when I say this, there are many communities whose downtowns may be struggling or aren't at the level they want it to be. But when you compare ourselves to a Nashville and Indy, it's hard to beat that competition. We have great ingredients downtown, great venues, a great hotel package. It's walkable, compact, but sometimes we don't have the connectivity that Nashville does. You walk out of Bridgestone Arena and you're right there on Broadway, and it really enhances that fan experience. So the bottom line there is we have to address the vibrancy downtown and do what we can to invest to make it an even more attractive destination for locals and for out-of-town residents. The other is financial. Often we just get beat because the public sector here isn't as invested as some other communities. And there's, we could do a whole show on that. But to maintain our competitiveness, it has to really be a public-private partnership. The Sports Commission is privately funded. We do all we can, but you also need the public sector, which benefits from these events, to also be at the table. At some level, we've got that, but at some level, we're lacking versus other communities.
Well, here on KMOX, we continue to bring everybody to the table, and I think that's part of our responsibility is to continue the conversation about who St. Louis is. We're located downtown. We are invested as well in progress, and that's what we want to see, and we want to hear all sides of the discussion as well. And Mark Schreiber, the president of the St. Louis Sports Commission, putting it very well there. Always great to talk to you, my friend. Have a great day and enjoy some Cardinal baseball coming up here on KMOX.
Thank you, Tom. You have a great Sunday. Enjoy the weather.
All right, buddy. You too. It is a beautiful day. And then it's going to drop into the 30s. What the heck is going on Tuesday night into Wednesday? But we're going to get up to 80 or so on Tuesday. That is unbelievable. Well, down in Jupiter, Florida, let's check the temperature there. It currently is 74 and sunny. Well, it's 64 and sunny here. So the only thing different is they have beaches and palm trees and some really good grouper as well. We're going to take a break for Cardinal baseball at 11:50, and then at 11:55, be tuned in. We'll go to the booth. Ricky Horton will bring you in. We have John Rooney, Mike Claiborne, Jim Jackson. Matt Pauley is there as well, covering things for KMOX. And we say thank you for joining us on Sports on a Sunday morning. Drew Young is our producer. We had some great guests today. Travis Ford, Lutz Pfannenstiel, John Mozeliak, Mark Schreiber, and a whole bunch to sort through when it came to all the sports that were played yesterday. You can go back and listen to it on the Odyssey app. It's 11:50. Cardinal baseball's next.
Charlie Brennan with Dr. Colleen Bosler from the Audiology Center. What can people expect when they visit one of your doctors at the Audiology Center?
Expect